He's the editor of The Onion, America's finest news source, universally recognized as a satirical paper of record. He's also the founder and CEO of the Joe Randazzo Association, Incorporated, a for-profit corporation specializing in temporal anomalization and monetization. Please welcome Joe Randazzo. How you feeling?
Great.
Good to see you.
What's the band called?
The Musical Guests. Is it not? And Joe, I think the last time I saw you was at the Onion holiday party last year, it might have been, at the Brooklyn Brewery. You so kindly vouched for me as an Onion contributor after I had been egregiously left off the list. So, thank you for that. How you been since then? What's going on?
What's happened since then?
Nothing? Really?
No, I mean, that's my last memory.
Oh my God.
Let's see, what happened? I have a son.
Yeah.
His name's Cormac.
He's getting older.
He just turned 3, yeah. We
Wow.
just did the same thing.
Look what you look forward to. You have a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
Geez, I mean,
Well, I mean, the paper's going through a lot of changes. I think we could talk about that, right?
sure.
Well, let's get some background here first for those who don't know the whole thing. I mean, you joined the Onion in March 2006. You were promoted to editor-in-chief late 2008. I mean, that's a pretty quick turnaround for, you know, an outsider, really, right? You came in as an outsider, and the Onion is notoriously this insular community out of Madison, Wisconsin. I think half the staff still is from the original Madison
Yeah, just
staff.
about, yeah. It was founded in 1988. And a lot of the people, there's still some people who've been there, you know, 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
There's also the second generation, which I would consider myself to be.
Right.
It's about half and half at this point.
I mean, there's a quote from one of the former editor-in-chiefs, Rob Siegel. I heard this in an interview when asked the question, how do you get a job with the Onion? His response was, you don't.
Yeah.
Any more than you get a job with your favorite band, you know? So you figured out a way to crack the code, though, which you know, it's amazing, because you were kind of the first really to come in from the outside, and then it sort of opened up, I think, more.
Well, I was working with U2. It was in the band U2.
Okay. Not your favorite band, though.
No,
That's the thing, yeah.
Red Lines. Well, actually, I started doing improv at the Magnet Theater. It was between the Magnet and the Pit, and I chose Magnet.
You really shouldn't have revealed that here.
I started doing improv there, and I met Carol Cole, who's the head writer of the Onion News Network.
Right.
And she used to be an editor-in-chief. Her now husband, Tony Kameen, who's the
stand-up comedian, yeah.
and Amy Burial, who was an editor at the Onion. And she wound up leaving to go to India. And when she left, she recommended me, and I tested for the job.
Wow. Nice. And you've been there, yeah, that's impressive. No, it is. It's, you've been there, and you've really overseen a lot of changes, I think, in your tenure. I mean, a lot of innovation in the website itself, the brand. You know, it's growing. I can't count all the redesigns of the website lately. I mean, you really, is this something you've been spearheading, or are you feeling it? You feel pressure to grow the brand, or is this something you brought in and you're gonna, you know, I mean, the TV shows, you got IFC and the Onion and the sports show on Comedy Central. Web videos are expanding. I mean, is that you? Is that all Joe Randazzo?
For me,
Yeah.
all me. People don't give me enough credit.
Well, we're here to give you the credit for that. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think in the past, the Onion is a print organization. People were very print-driven. It went online in 1996, and at that time, it was just they would publish on Wednesday, just like the newspaper, and just put everything online, and it would just sit there for a week until the next Wednesday. And you know, it's a pretty conservative organization in terms of staying true to this long-form print heritage. So even something like joining Twitter, for instance, people were very nervous about doing. But if you look at it, I think the Onion's kind of perfect for Twitter. It's you know, headlines, very easy to forget. You know, just look at it and let it slip through your mind. So I think a lot of that
headlines only anyway, right?
Yeah, that's all I ever read.
Joe, I have to say, speaking of that, you know, I never really heard of the Onion, but a few years ago, all of a sudden Scott is writing headlines for the Onion. And he was always a pretty good kid, very natural, but he was so stressed out week after week. At Sunday nights, forget it, you couldn't talk to him, all because of the Onion.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there, he was desperate to write headlines. But actually, he got a paycheck every once in a while, so it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's okay.
So now 20 floggings, you can punish Joe now for all that
Yeah,
stress.
I think our secret is we really treat our contributors like shit.
Yeah.
Stress, sense of
A lot of stress, Joe.
So now, I want to talk about the Twitter and the social media that you're bringing into it. I mean, a big one over the summer was this Congress hostage situation, which really was a brilliant example of using social media and creating this kind of multi-platform event, like breaking news event. You had the tweets going out, breaking the news. You had video component to it, which you're adding to the site now. And that sort of took on a life of its own. I mean, people took that as a real story, that the Congress was taking school children hostage, shooting at kids. I mean, that's bizarre.
But I think in that one, you know, one of the things that, in social media, I'm not the social media guru. I'm just much more open to it, I think, than previous editors, because it didn't exist under previous editors. That one, you know, one something we're really trying to do is like emulate how a news organization would cover an actual big event. So it's not just one headline printed once and forgotten. It's, you know, breaking news, you know, a little bit of information. You learn information over the course of the day, and then you go into sort of analysis of it. So that's what we were trying to do with this Congress takes, and the headline was something like Congress takes children hostage and demands $4 trillion.
Yeah.
But the problem there, and this I think is what's really interesting about current journalism, media, and the way people consume their news, is that the first thing we put on Twitter was just, it's from the Onion account, but it just said breaking, shots reported fired in Capitol building. So that's not a joke.
Right. The Onion would give it away.
Yeah, if you know it's from the Onion. Right. So then that gets retweeted and people are seeing it without any kind of context. And I think people start, because people's natural tendency is to want to flip out about things. So people see that and got mad, and then it sort of created this huge problem where actually the Capitol Police had to like clear out the building and did a whole evacuation. So
we're wasting more taxpayer dollars while we're in this paper crisis.
Making a real point.
Yeah, get that brand out there.
I actually went to school for broadcast journalism.
Did you?
A little bit of, Emerson College. And while I was there, I worked at a coffee shop / chocolate shop called Burdick's Chocolate. Is anyone from Boston or no? You know Burdick's Chocolate? Harvard Square?
Flat no, yeah. Supportive crowd. Yeah, very supportive.
I worked there with Jenny Slate.
Oh, wow.
We worked at the chocolate shop together.
What's coming up next?
Yeah.
I'll give you a good segue, I think, because I think we have to wrap it up. But real quickly, you're a big Twitter user now yourself, and you're always on this thing. I just joined in July, and I don't know, I mean...
Yeah, I'll follow you.
You'll follow me. Let's just take care of that right now. That's not what I'm going for. I sort of have two sides to this sort of thing, and sometimes I really enjoy it, but other days I'm looking at this thing, and it's like, when did the whole world become, late night monologue writers? It's just sort of, I guess because I'm following comedians, that's probably part of the problem. But, I don't know, do you find it annoying when you get, something breaks, someone dies, and all of a sudden you got 1,000 jokes about this person dying? I just want to get your opinion on where we're going, and what does it say about us as a society, maybe? And we're just, everything's just jokes. Maybe it's just more following.
Well, I think it is a lot of your
Is it? I should follow
It's probably the easiest way to get recognized is to say something kind of sarcastic or ironic.
Yeah.
I think the normal kind of social life cycle is so sped up on Twitter.
Right.
It's like, not only is it appropriate on Twitter to make jokes about people dying within 15 minutes of their dying.
15 seconds, if you can, yeah.
But everything else, like, you can't enjoy anything anymore. Like, if there's a funny song that someone's like, this is a funny song that I like, within 4 hours, everybody has seen it.
Yeah.
And people are literally like yelling, fuck you, if you post links to it. It's too fast, there's no time.
I agree.
But people, their only reaction, because we all live these dull, senseless lives, to get any sort of feeling of shared communal experience, is to just make a joke and then see that someone faved it.
Right.
Feel like you have a reason to live.
Validation. It's a great feeling.
You can follow me, you'll be very bored.
Yeah.
Are you on Twitter?
No.
Well, I'm going to start breaking jokes on Twitter. I think that's the answer. It's just That's, or we can just blow the internet up and we'll just take care of it that way. Yeah, let's do it. Blow up the internet. Guys, Joe Randazzo, Energy of the Audience.